Master Precious Abuji. Are you precious?
Yes, sir.
What made you precious?
Sir, my parents chose the name.
You say your friends told you you are precious?
My parents chose the name.
Your parents chose the name?
Yes.
He's still on the line. I'm asking, are you precious?
Yes, sir.
Or they just chose the name because they love the name and you are not precious?
No, sir. They must have seen something to choose the name.
Okay, I appreciate that. It's good having you in the house. This bigmamnaija direct section, we'll be asking you a few questions, Master Precious.
Yes, sir.
Good. Big Mom was in your school some few weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
They interviewed you, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So what did you tell them that would be?
I told them I wanted to become a chemical engineer.
A chemical engineer?
Yes, sir.
Are you from River State?
Yes, sir. I live in River State, but I'm from Delta State.
Delta State?
Yes, sir.
And you live in River State?
Yes, sir.
You are still in South South, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Living in South South.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that South South region is stable?
Come again, sir.
The South South region, do you think it's a good place?
Yes, sir.
So why do you say so?
Well, if you look at some other parts of the country, it might not be the best place in terms of security and social amenities. But if you look at some other part of the country, you find out that, and compared to the South-South region, you find out that in the South-South region, we don't have bombing, we don't have as much beggars as we have in some other parts of the country. So I think it's a fairly good part of Nigeria to be.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to leave the begging section of it. Let's go more to other more serious section. We have petrochemical. Is it a company? Will I say it's a company in Element? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it functional?
Well, sir, we are told that the petrochemical refinery there is functioning. So, yes, sir.
You are told it's functional.
Yes, sir. That's what the government.
Have you seen any current statistic that actually shows functioning and the capacity is functioning?
No, sir. It's not functioning up to the capacity it's supposed to.
If you are giving that refinery to manage, or the one in Warren, that is also bad, or the one in Kaduna, which is also bad, what do you think? What policy can you put in place?
Well, sir, if I'm given the authority to manage the refineries, the first thing I will do is to screen out all the ghost workers, because you find out in Nigeria, you have a certain number of employed people, especially in government organizations, but only a few are working there. Now, I will also look for those who have questionable names in terms of financial commitments and others, because sometimes the fund that's allocated to these refineries for their running are not put into proper use. Like the Element refinery, as you pointed out, is not functioning as it's supposed to. Now, the reason it's not functioning is either because the government is not providing funds, or before the funds get to the level, that's the management of the refinery, some other higher officials have taken their own share and left a minor amount for the refinery management to use for the running of the refinery.
We appreciate that. But currently, the government is doing something. I want to tell you what they are doing. They are giving license to local companies to build refineries, even on drilling. Like we have currently the Panama Oil Company. Are you aware of the Panama Oil Company?
Yes, sir.
The indigenous company. Do you know that the owner of that company is from River State?
Yes, sir.
Good. But with all this, the government is doing to fight back, to fight corruption, to make sure the system is good. Still, nothing is working. What actually do you think is the main problem why all these efforts by the government are not working? Do you think it's the people or still the government or corruption?
Generally, even the Nigerian citizens at the lower level make up the government. So in their own small way. So I think generally, I would say it's still some persons in the government that are working against this the functioning of these indigenous refineries and drilling companies, because you cannot say you want the refineries to be functioning well. We want us to refine our own produce in Nigeria, and you, a government official, you have a business exporting crude oil to other countries, and you're making your own fair share of your own fair share of money from that. It just can't work. For the refineries and the oil companies to work, it means that every single person in the government has to put their hands together, put their heads together, and even the Nigerians believe in themselves that look at these refineries, we want them to work. We don't want to import in crude oil again. We cannot be one of the highest producers of crude oil. Nigeria is richly blessed with petroleum, but yet we are one of the highest importers. It just does not reflect proper management. So I think despite the despite what the government is doing to ensure that can depend on ourselves, I think they are not doing enough. If they are really doing enough, then there will be a notable difference in the petroleum industry.
Thank you very much. Will you be a corrupt leader tomorrow?
By the grace of God, sir, I won't.
By the grace of God, you won't?
Yes, sir.
That means you will not be a corrupt leader. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
We thank you very much. We'll be hearing from you from next hour section. For now, we say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This is bigmamnaija.